So we started at sex and we ended at politics.
Yeah.
And that is the story.
Amanda, Nicolette, thank you so much for the time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Yes.
This is a beautiful, beautiful film, and the performances between you, there's such wonderful chemistry. I was wondering what excited you both to be a part of Maya and Samar.
I think for me, it was a story that I had never read anything quite like it before. And the big draw for me was the character of Maya. You know, as an actor, you're always envision when you read a script, like who is this person? How would it feel like to go through this in real life? And her intense curiosity and her hunger and her passion, it was very compelling for me, and it was a very exciting challenge.
Yeah, for me, very similarly, because I haven't seen an African woman portrayed in this way before in media. And I think that the moral complexity in this story is just something fascinating and interesting that drew me in, and also how remarkably unafraid she is, and how you see that wherever there is oppression, there's also joy and resistance to it. And to go in this way and show someone as an empowered person and someone that honors the inventiveness and the courageousness that many people have, that I know also, that come from similar situations. And yeah.
Watching the two of you on screen, you can see there's a genuine connection between you as performers, but also your characters. And sexuality is a major talking point in this film. It's a major story point. And I was wondering in your mind, like certainly in the case here with Samar, sexuality is a danger. It seems like a dangerous thing. I would love to hear from you. What is it about sexuality that can have that sort of added element to it, this dangerous power?
Mm. Do you want to answer that?
I think that it is some sort of driving force for Samar, and there's also an element of risk that you always need with another person, like a vulnerability before you can have intimacy like that. And I think for Samar, going there and fighting to have that, yeah, is an intense drive.
And it's also like we get this beautiful juxtaposition because for Maya, her sexuality is not something that is controversial, that there's any danger associated with, and that freedom of choice and the idea that queer sexuality particularly could be could elicit such violence, such retaliation. It really just holds up this juxtaposition that makes you question privilege and how sexuality and sexual identity is intertwined with privilege.
And maybe also like historically queerness as a disinterest in straight paths, you know? And so that knowing, because I think Samar has no desire to justify her existence, and she carves a way out for herself to resist those who want to take that away from her, which is patriarchy, which is the gender apartheid of the Taliban regime, which is the restrictive asylum politics. And I do think that in like queerness lies an inherent draw to being resistant and joyful. So
we started at sex and we ended at politics.
Yeah.
And that is the story.
And that is maybe also what the film does. Yeah.
But honestly, that tracks so much with the film because there's so many things intertwined here. This isn't just a romance, and it's not just a political thriller. these two things, they're closely
Mhm.
Yeah.
locked in
Yeah.
for these characters. And I mean, certainly, Samar's journey, I mean, we see the power of shame. Shame is a big conversation in this film too, especially towards the end, and control. And I think it's interesting to see how these sides sort of collide with one another for these characters. I think it's a very interesting mix.
Yeah. Is there a question in there? Do you want us to
I
reflect?
realized it wasn't. I was I was sort of
I'm
talking
like,
with you. Yeah,
yeah.
you can
No,
respond.
and you know what? Western society, so many people understand how shame is associated with sex and sexuality. That's not unique to an Afghan refugee. So that interrogation also is universal in a way.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Um, for the two of you, as you inhabit these characters, as I said, the connection is real. I was wondering, in your mind, what does Samar see in Maya and the other way around?
I mean, I honestly think that while Maya has this insatiable curiosity and is fascinated and in admiration of Samar, I think there is also some envy or jealousy uh, unconsciously, because when your life is easy and you admire these characters who are built in resilience and strength, and yet you have not gone through your own trials that would make you feel like you've earned this easy life. I think there's this kind of twist there, and because her ego is intertwined in a way, it makes her blind to Samar's real needs. So yes, she is full in admiration and desire for Samar, but there is this complex, dark underbelly of envy.
Mhm. And I think like Samar has to be more rational about everything because there is something she's crafting with this connection. And I do think that they are very similar but very different in a way. And this is what draws them together. And there is this chemistry, but there's also something that Samar is planning to make a life of freedom possible for herself.
Mhm.
So
Deception,
yeah.
a little bit of deception.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do love where the film goes,
Mhm.
in the sense of it adds so much deeper context to their relationship, and certainly to what's going on behind the scenes. And it's lovely to chat with you both. I see that we're out of time, but honestly, thank you both so much for the chance to chat. I really do appreciate it.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you. Have a great day.